Hey guys, so I thought today I would do a chatty get ready with me and just kind of throw my makeup on and chat with you guys while I do it. This video is probably not gonna have any like specific topic about it. I'm just kind of waffling, if I'm honest. Fun fact, I actually had to go look on my channel to see what t-shirt I wore last time I filmed a video because it's been that long since I filmed a video. Anyways, moving on. Something I have kind of realized, not even recently, but more that I'm just trying to like take my own advice, is it's really actually very hard to like fuck up your entire life. Like, you have to do a lot of really bad things to actually like ruin your life. Like the statistical likelihood of you completely like destroying and ruining the rest of your life is not actually that high. Like, it's actually really hard to do. But that doesn't change that like I stay up at night and anxiety ridden like waffles about like, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? What am I doing? Like, I don't know. I think it's like that terrifying notion that like I have no idea where I'm living like 6 months from now. Like, I have no idea. So I don't know, like I know I need to chill. Like, I know I need to just like find my chill and like stop freaking out about it because it'll work out somehow, some way. Like, it's not like I'm stupid and it's not like I don't have things going for me. Like, it'll be fine. I'll find a job and I will, you know, get an apartment or a house or whatever it is. Like, it's gonna be fine. I just need to like calm down. But I'm one of those people that like loves to plan. Like, I'm a planner. And so not having a plan up to a certain point is like really scary for me, and I kind of like start to freak out. And so right now I kind of don't have a plan for my life. Like, I know I'm moving back to America. Like, that's all I know, is that in September or October, like sometime, like again, like I don't even know what month. Like, it could be September, it could be October, it could be November. I don't really know. But sometime in the fall, I'm moving back to America after I finish my master's degree. But from there, I don't know if I'm staying in my hometown. I don't know if I'm staying in Tennessee. I don't know if I'm moving elsewhere. Like, I don't really know. Like, that's to be determined. And I think the thing about it is that like I'm kind of freaking out because none of those are bad options. Like, on the one hand, I want to get out of Tennessee simply because it's Tennessee. Like, I'm surrounded by a bunch of conservative, like, twats who don't line up with any of my beliefs or any of my, like, things that I enjoy. And I don't know, like, I don't know. I don't really like the culture of it, I guess. Like, and that's why I want to not be there. And there's a lot more like opportunity for me if I leave. Like, the jobs that I want and the jobs that I'm going for don't really exist in Tennessee. Like, I will have to move if I want the type of job that I want, which is new media. Which those jobs just like don't exist. Like, the biggest city in Tennessee, which is Nashville, even they like don't have a ton of those jobs. However, I'm also kind of on the fence about that because I have been living away from my family for like almost 2 years now, and like I really miss my family. Like, I love my family, and also it's kind of like I have a support system and friends that are in Tennessee, like where I live, and I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily to like want to stay close to them and want to like be with them, because like whenever I'm home and whenever I'm there, I am really happy and like I enjoy it. Like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, am I emotionally fulfilled or am I like professionally fulfilled? And it feels like I can't have both, because like where I am emotionally fulfilled, there are just not jobs that are going to professionally fulfill me, but I will be emotionally fulfilled. Like, I'll be surrounded by my family and surrounded by my friends, and that will make me really happy, but I won't be like as happy in my career. Whereas if I move and I go somewhere that makes me professionally happy and that will give me a lot of growth and able to move up and like reach my career goals, I won't be as emotionally happy because like I won't have my family and I won't have my friends that I've grown up with my whole life, really, and it'll be like starting over all over again. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like I've gotten to the point where I'm tired of starting over. I moved to London and I didn't know anyone, and that was like a huge risk for me, like moving here and not knowing anybody. And I did it and it's fine, and I have friends here now and that's great, but it did take me like a good year of like being alone and like not really knowing anyone and like figuring my shit out in order to like get to where I am now. And I'm getting to the point where it's like I don't want to start over again. I can move somewhere and I know that I would be fine, but I'm kind of getting to the point where it's like, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to start over all over again where I don't know anyone? And it takes me over a year to like find friends. And even then, like after you found those friends, like I've been living here for almost 2 years and I do have a really good friend group, don't get me wrong. Like I love my friends and like I do see them like a few times a week and it's great, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like they still don't know my whole life story. Like there are things that they don't know about me, there are things that like I'm not comfortable sharing, and things that like, it's not that I don't trust them, it's just that like we haven't known each other long enough for that really to be our relationship. So it's still like really stressful, like when something's happening in my life or like when something's going on, I still like reach out to people that have known me my whole life instead of people that like I've barely known for a year. And it sucks because like they're not here obviously, so like I just kind of have to handle it and deal with it all on my own. And I'm kind of getting to the point where it's like I don't want to start over again and like be all by myself again and just like figuring it out. Do you see my problem? Like I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing. And I think also it's one of those things, like my entire life growing up, like I always thought that I was going to be a teacher. I always thought that I was going to stay in my hometown and become a teacher, and like I had a life plan and I had everything that was happening. And then I just kind of had this like giant existential crisis and was like, why did I choose what my whole life was gonna be at 16? And so I completely switched. Like I completely like turned my life around and decided, I was like, no, I'm gonna figure out what I actually really wanna do and what's gonna make me happy. And now I feel like I'm back at square one where it's like, okay, I know what's gonna make me happy professionally, but like that doesn't change that like I also want to be emotionally happy. Like I also need things on the other side. Like your job is not your whole life. One of the things that I've learned like growing up and being an adult and living on my own and moving and kind of having to figure things out on my own is that like when you're younger you feel like adults have it all figured out. You feel like when you're that age you're supposed to have it figured out, and then you get to that age and you realize that you don't have it figured out, and then you realize one of two things. You realize one, either I'm crazy and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm ruining my whole life, or no adults ever have anything figured out. And I'm inclined to believe the second option, that like no adult actually knows what they're doing and they don't actually have any idea what's going on in their life, and they're just kind of living and trying to fumble around and figure it out as they go, which is probably the reality. But in the back of your head you're always secretly thinking like, maybe it's just me, like maybe I'm just the crazy one that like doesn't have their life figured out, and what the fuck am I doing? Which, I mean, I feel like social media probably also doesn't help that, because like I have so many friends that are like the same age as me, and like you look on social media, and especially like people that I went to high school with and like people that I knew but I didn't really know, because like I graduated with like a huge it's gonna be really cakey. I graduated with like a huge graduating class of like 430 people, and like I'm friends with a lot of them on Facebook, even though I didn't really like know a lot of them growing up. And like you see on Facebook and you see on like Twitter all these people that are the same age as you that are living their lives and they look like they're doing amazing, and you're like, oh my god, that's crazy, that's so cool, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And like I realize also that like from an outsider's perspective, I also look that way. Like it also looks like I'm doing really cool shit with my life. Like I moved to London and I'm getting my master's degree here, and like I've lived here for like 2 years, and like I go to all these cool fancy parties, but like it's not really like, the reality is not that. Like the reality is that I spend 90% of my time laying in this bed on Tumblr. Like that's really what my life is. And then maybe once a week I go do a cool thing, but like I could be doing this living in London or living in like the middle of buttfuck nowhere. So I mean, my life really isn't as glamorous as it seems. And like I realize that like if my life looks good on paper and it doesn't in real life, like that's what other people's do as well. But I think it's just one of those mental things that like you can't get past it. Like, it's just one of those things that like your anxiety starts to think this and he goes in circles and you're like, well, maybe it is just me. And it's not just me, but it feels like it's just me. I hope you guys didn't actually care to see what I'm putting on my face. Like, I'm not very good at doing my makeup at all. I just kind of like figure it out as I go along. But I mean, if you do actually want to know what I'm putting on my face, I suppose I could show you guys at a later date. But honestly, most of it is stuff that my cousin Michaela told me to put on. So if you actually want to see good makeup, you should tweet her, here is her Twitter, and tell her to actually do her YouTube channel, because I have been trying to convince her for months. That is too heavy. I have been trying to convince her for months to actually do makeup tutorials on her YouTube channel, because she is freaking amazing, and she just won't do it because I don't know why. She's lazy, I guess, or scared that nobody will watch it. But I think it would be amazing and I will watch it. As I'm sure none of you have noticed, because no one cares, I have not been making videos recently, and that's kind of like a twofold. Like, part of it is like all of this stuff that has been stressing me out, and then part of it is that I've been insanely depressed and like can't get out of bed and sleeping for 14 hours a day and, you know, barely living my life, let alone getting the motivation to make a YouTube video. But like, also I'm living with a girl that doesn't let me film after like 9 p.m. because she doesn't like the noise, and I usually film at like midnight on a good night because I have nice lighting, and like I'm just a night owl. And like, don't get me started on like the fact that like the person I'm living with is not been in my best interest anyways. But she's moving out in like a few weeks. Well, like 4 weeks, a month. So hopefully, oh, I need to fix this. So hopefully things will get better and I will be able to like live my life a little bit easier. I don't know, I think it's one of those things where it's like, I know how to get better. Like, I'm aware of like what the research says, and like if I went to a psychologist or a doctor, like I know what they're gonna tell me, but it's a lot easier said than done, I feel like. Fun story, I'm one of those people that can't let other people do eye makeup on me, especially eyeliner and mascara, because I will like start crying. I have this weird thing about my eyes, like I freak out about my eyes. I can't like watch movies where things happen to eyes. I can't even read about it. I can't hear other people talk about it. Like, I even hated that episode of Happy Tree Friends where like the guy's eye popped out. Like, I couldn't watch it. Like, I couldn't stomach it. It freaks me out. But I remember on prom, my mom, I remember her like yelling at me for my junior prom because I wouldn't let the makeup artist that did like my hair and makeup, I wouldn't let her put my eyeliner and mascara on. And my mom was like, you're not gonna do it right. You don't know how to do it. Just let her do it. And she tried to do it. And I told them, I was like, if you like try to let her do it, I'm gonna start crying and it's gonna mess up my whole makeup and you're gonna have to start over. And they wouldn't listen to me. They're like, no, it'll be fine. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna like start crying, just put myself. And guess what? She did it and I started crying and she had to redo like half of my makeup because I couldn't do And then the second time around, she just like told me how to do it, and it's fine because like I have steady hands. And I can do whatever you tell me to do, but you ain't doing it because I'm gonna freak out. And I know someone in the comment is probably gonna be like, oh my god, you didn't moisturize. Oh my god, you didn't put a chapstick on. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I will say, when I take my makeup off though, I'm like extra as hell. Like, when I take my makeup off, I have like a whole routine that takes like 20 minutes of like my makeup remover that's like super nice, and then I have like toner, and then I have moisturizer, or no, I do makeup remover, and then I do makeup remover, and then I have a face cleansing wash, and then I do toner, and then I do moisturizer. So it takes for freaking ever, but it means that I have really good skin. Last thing is lips. I'm not gonna be able to talk during this part, obviously. Not my best work, if I'm being honest. It'll work. So, this is the finished look. As you can tell, I just don't wear a ton of makeup. Like, I like my makeup to look pretty natural when I'm wearing it. I feel like this was more of like me just like talking like I would to a diary. Like, I don't know, I enjoyed it. I think it made me feel better. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will talk to you guys soon, I hope. I'm gonna try and make more videos. I don't know, maybe leave me a very nice comment that makes me feel good down below and I'll make more. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye.